Welcome back to Friar Talk, where we are talking Padres baseball daily. Today is pretty rough day right now in the Padres season. I'm hoping it is the lowest of the lows for the year, but the Padres are coming off of a sweep against the Rockies, and the big question now is, where are they going to go from here? Is this a team that is completely done, going to fall out of the second playoff spot? Or are they a team that can, get hot against a good schedule at the end of the year and beat out the Reds and the Cardinals for that finals playoff spot? That's the big question for today. We're going to kind of be going over this Rocky series, kind of talking about who's ahead. Tomorrow we're going to be going live before the game against the Phillies. And then after that on Saturday, we're going to be talking about the Padres lineup and like kind of their offensive woes. But today, talking about this sweep, talking about, what's moving forward. And Isaac, I'll start out with you, man. What are you feeling right now for the Padres? Where are you at with this team?
I think it's fairly obvious to say that this is probably the darkest point of the season, probably the lowest point of the season. You come off another sweep. Early in the season we got swept by Colorado, and then we come back to Colorado, get swept again. Ryan Weathers goes out there, horrendous outing. Bullpen goes out there, another not very good outing, and then Jake Arrieta goes out there, gets hurt, and then what do you know? Another bad outing altogether from the pitchers. That first game, I believe it was the first game where we tied it up. Trent Grisham tied it up, and I thought that was going to be a momentum shifter for the Padres. I thought that was going to end up. I thought we were going to end up winning that game because I thought, momentum's on our side. I think we'll be able to come out of this game with a W. Nonetheless, 5 minutes later, we lose. You come out the next day down. I think it was 4-0. Tatis goes deep. Jake inside the Parker. Pham deep. And again, I thought, here comes the momentum towards the Padres. They should be able to come out with the win. And what do you know? The pitching does it again. I love Tim Hill, but horrendous, really bad outing from Tim Hill. He's been pretty rock solid for the earlier part of the year. Lately, he's been kind of struggling. Last game, just the overall letdown altogether. I don't think the Padres should be losing when they put up 5 runs or 6 runs, whatever it was. They should not be losing because that's a starting rotation's got to be able to hold it down, especially against a team like the Rockies. A rotation's got to be able to hold it down and only give up 3 or 4 runs. That's a game that should have been won by the offense. Now, I don't know where we're at this point of the season. It's tough to evaluate. I realistically think we're going to need 90 to 92 wins to get to the playoffs. I predicted we'd get 95. Not a couple of days ago, we needed to go 28 and I think it was 13 to have 95. Now, we've got to go, I believe it's 28 and 11. Not impossible, but this Padres team is really streaky and a lot of tough competition coming up. And they play good against tough competition, but going to have to see where it goes from here. We're in dire need of Yu Darvish and Chris Paddock, and hopefully they come back soon.
Yeah, this series probably the worst outcome that we could have had. We got swept. We lost Matt Strom. Then we lost Jake Arrieta in the 4th inning. We didn't expect Jake Arrieta to, go out and, shut out the Rockies, but we thought he'd give us a chance to at least win the game. 3 innings third and 5 earned runs doesn't help us. We scored 5 runs. We were right there in the game the entire time. We were always in the games. If we got down, we always were, got back to like a 1 or 2 run deficit, if not tied the game late game. And that was the case with yesterday too. I said it's a 2-run shot to tie the game up. We lose another 2 runs. Machado hits an RBI single. Myers comes back up and hits another home run, and we tie the game. And then it just gets the bullpen blows it from there. Like at some point, 5 to 6 runs has to win you majority of your ball games. You can't keep blowing up games where your team scores 5 runs and your pitchers just can't close it out. And that can be a contributor to bullpen fatigue, the starters not going deep into games, and the starters being injured. And we don't know when Darvish or Paddock's going to come back. Hopefully Paddock is back sooner than later. Darvish, I feel like, is going to come back later after that. But now the Padres are forced to, okay, we're get pitching because Rogers hasn't been it. He doesn't go deep into games. Has been getting shelled in his most recent outings. Do we try to go and sign another guy again and hope he doesn't get injured? Because the two cases where teams have gone out and signed a pitcher mid-season so far this year, the Dodgers with Cole Hamels, he didn't throw a single pitch, got injured. The Dodgers are out $1 million. Jake Arrieta, 3 innings, and then gets hurt too. So do you try to go out and get another pitcher, or do you promote from within your minor league system? And then in that case, that just leaves us, again, here chanting, where is Adrian Martinez and when is Mackenzie Gore coming up? Because those are practically the only 2 guys from the minor leagues right now that are probably worth calling up. And without those questions being answered, just kind of a lot of where do the Padres go now? And, we're hoping it goes up, but it can very well be that it goes even further down.
And this is a pretty crazy spot to be in, considering, how many guys have started games this year for the Padres, how many bullpen days there have been, like just injury after injury for this pitching rotation. I think that we are going to see Adrian Martinez called up. I think, like you said, it's what else are they going to do? Like at this point, they are throwing Weathers, and we were discussing this just a little bit ago. They're throwing Weathers on Tuesday night against the Dodgers and on a prime time game. So you talk about absolutely killing a guy's confidence. This is not good. We all like Ryan Weathers. We believe in him as a pro, but he has been heavily struggling, like to the point where you cannot keep throwing him. And the only reason they are is because they do not have any other arms to bring up. But it's brutal. Like they are absolutely killing this guy right now. And one of the big things about Mackenzie Gore is like, oh, we don't want to shake his confidence. They are doing, it to an extreme level with Ryan Weathers, which, I mean, you're talking about some of these guys not being able to develop. If you come up to the MLB and you have some early success and then you start struggling and your team, the way they have your back is they keep throwing you and you just keep getting rocked and rocked and rocked, it almost feels like worse every single time you come out. I mean, last outing, 2 pitches and it's gone. So I feel bad. I feel really bad for Ryan Weathers right now. I'm extremely concerned with this team. Now, kind of will bring some positivity. They have a chance to go out and beat the Phillies. They should beat the Phillies at the very least, and I think that they're shooting for a sweep against this team. I know you just get swept by the Rockies, and it feels like it's a really bad spot. It is. It 100% is. But it's Blake Snell and it's Musgrove. Those are the 2 starting pitchers right now on this team. The 2 only somewhat reliable options. I mean, we both definitely all love Musgrove. Snell has been improving a lot. His last outing wasn't great, but he still only allowed 2 runs in 5 innings. Not terrible. Both these games need to be won, and Sunday, I think you're really hoping you win and you kind of get some momentum built around. So hopefully, bringing Fernando Tatis back to Petco Park gets this team reinvigorated, gets them going. But it's a tough spot to be in. They're going to have to call up Adrian Martinez. I think that you might see Mackenzie Gore go pitch 1 minor league outing and then get called up as well, because where else are they going to go? Unless Chris Paddock is about to return, unless Dinelson Lamet is about to return, but we know he's not going to be throwing a lot of innings. He's only going to be going a little bit. So it's a really tough spot right now. Hopefully Yu Darvish and Chris Paddock are back. That if they come back soon, that could answer a lot of questions, but they are in a bad spot. And in all honesty, getting swept by the Rockies could have been expected. I mean, Chase, before the series started, you told me I would kind of expect them to get swept. Like they don't have the pitchers to go. And then, like you brought up, Isaac, Monday, you have a chance to win that game. And then it feels like, hey, maybe the Padres could even take 2 out of 3 if they win this game. And then it all falls apart. And that's where that's where it feels like it's been falling behind. Last thing I will share, and then I'll let you guys kind of wrap it up. The Padres, since the Slam-A-Rana game, if they have been trailing in the 5th inning, after the 5th inning or in the 5th inning, they have lost every single one of those games. They have not had a comeback win since that time. And you talk about what made this team, so exciting, so great last year, and then early on in this year, it was the ability to come from behind, and that's what's missing right now. So hopefully they get it going. Hopefully we say this right now, and we're recording this on Thursday. It's going to get posted on Thursday. Hopefully Friday is a come from behind victory where we see a walk-off and we see the team get going. Like that's what we want to see, but it is a pretty dark spot right now. But anything else you guys want to add? I'll start with you, Isaac.
Yeah, you brought up Ryan Weathers, how they're killing his confidence. It's definitely criminal to continue to do that to the kid. You know, he's our age. Um, he struggled heavily, and it's going to rock your confidence, especially when you're so young. You saw Chris Paddock comes out his first year, has a pretty solid beginning to his career, and then you saw a couple outings where he got rocked, and then come in 2020, he had a solid start to the season, and then it all just went downhill from there. Really after the Dodgers outing where he allowed, it was upwards of 7 runs in 2 or 3 innings, and he was only throwing 92 miles per hour. Um, Other than that, though, you know, this is a chance for the Padres to get going back home. We know, you know, earlier in the year, a lot of road struggles, and unfortunately, if you're going to be a good team, you got to be able to win a lot of games on the road as well. But you know, now's the chance to come back home and regain the momentum that you had in June, had in May, because we haven't seen that Padres team in a really long time. We haven't seen that team that swept the Dodgers and the Reds. We just have, I mean, where have they been? You know, and that could be partly due to starting pitching or you know the stupid lineup stuff that keeps going on where they keep switching it up for no reason. It's like the inconsistency provided throughout this team is very concerning. But if you're going to alleviate these concerns, now's the time to do it. You know you control your own destiny, really. You know, you face the Phillies who are gaining ground on you. I believe they're only 4.5 games back of you. Perfect example of controlling your own destiny right here. You win 2, maybe 3, and now you know you're looking at the Phillies from a further distance, and that's exactly what you want to do. The Reds are going to be playing the Marlins. I know that's not exactly a scary matchup, but they're going to be facing I think it's Thompson and Alcantara. So you know that's two tough matchups for them. And then they're going to go on and they're going to face the Brewers. So now's the time. You know, now's the time for this team to get going.
Yeah, speaking of the wild card standings, all the teams that are 1.5 to 4.5 games back, thankfully they have all lost 2 or 3 in a row with the Padres, and now that they have some pretty tough matchups. The Cards are playing the Brewers. They got Woodruff going tonight, so expecting the Cards to lose. And you know, hopefully the Marlins pull through. They're a very hit and miss team. Sometimes their offense is great. Sometimes their starting pitching is great. Other times, you know, they're in last place for a reason. But hopefully we need these other teams to pull through, and we need the Padres to win when they lose. We cannot continue to lose when they lose because you're only hurting yourself for the long run. And we can't afford to lose any more games to teams that we shouldn't be losing against. We can't play down to the level of our competition and then play up to it when it benefits us. You have to pick a level and stay there because that's what great teams do. That's what separates the Giants and the Dodgers from us. They don't get swept by the Rockies and also lose 2 out of 3 against the Diamondbacks. The Giants are in first for a reason because they can beat those teams consistently, while we usually play down to the level of our competition.
All right. Well, yeah, that's going to do it. Sorry that this episode is a little bit more negative, but I mean, it's a tough spot right now. Anytime you get swept by the Rockies, it's not going to be the most fun, happy podcast, I guess. But hopefully they get going. I do think these next 2 days, very good chances of winning. Got to get it done. Got to get it done. Got to get some momentum if this team's going to make the playoffs. Because if you get in, you always have a chance. That's how baseball is. So they got to grind it out. They got to, you know, start getting some games ahead on the Reds, especially since they played the Cubs and the Pirates quite a few times down the road of the season. But the Padres got to get going, got to flip the switch, and this is the time to do it. But that's going to do it for today. We're going to be going live tomorrow at 6:30 Pacific time. If you're listening on podcast, you can hop on either on YouTube or on Twitter to see that live stream. But we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. And then on Saturday, we'll have a segment come out. And that'll just be about the Padres lineup. And I think what we believe is the real problem with this offense right now and their lack of ability to generate runs. But that is going to do it for today. And we will come back to you guys tomorrow in the live stream and then Saturday. And we'll keep talking Padres baseball every day. So talk to you guys soon and go Padres.